Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock is also in Israel, where she has reiterated Germany's support to her Israeli counterpart, Eli Cohen. The German Foreign Minister has been visiting the southern town of Netivot, which was overrun by Hamas militants at the weekend. One of the big reasons for her visit is to speak with family members of German citizens who are still being held captive by the Islamist militant group. Baerbock said that Hamas is holding the whole population of Gaza hostage.
Hamas is now deliberately entrenching itself in Gaza and using innocent people as human shields. Hamas has taken the entire population of Gaza hostage. Its tunnels, weapons caches and command centres are deliberately located in homes, supermarkets, universities and perhaps even hospitals. This poses incredible challenges to everyone who wants to fight terror.
German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock there. And joining us now from Netivot is our correspondent Tanja Krämer. She was with the German Foreign Minister there. Tanja, what can you tell us about the visit? Why is Annalena Baerbock there?
Well, it was a very, very short visit. She arrived Friday morning and just stayed for a few hours here in Netivot, where we're still standing. This is a city or town not far from the Gaza border. You can hear also some artillery fire here from time to time as the war is continuing. And she was visiting basically here a situation room and visited with Eli. She met here a counterpart, Eli Cohen, Israel's foreign minister. And she also visited a location where a rocket came down on a house and killed 3 people of the same family. What she basically said here is her full support for Israel. She said, she reiterated Germany's support and for the security of Israel, that it is Germany's raison d'être. She was actually asked what that means, if that also means that there would be, for example, military supply, and she said whatever Israel needs. She was also asked about the situation in Gaza, and she was simply saying in that moment that Israel should abide by international law.
Now, there are apparently several German hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. What is Germany doing to help get them out?
Well, that was another very important aspect of her visit. During the visit here in Netivot, she also met some of the families whose loved ones have been taken hostage, also with German citizenship, and also in Tel Aviv she was also meeting some more families. This is of a great concern, of course, for Germany, but there are also other nations. We just saw US Secretary of State Antony Blinken also in the country. He was also looking into ways how the hostages with US citizenship, what they can do to release them. So Germany said, the foreign minister said that Germany is in touch with other nations that are, that have been traditionally mediating between Hamas and Israel indirectly. For example, Qatar or Egypt. Germany itself has a history of being a mediator in hostage situations in the Middle East in the past. But of course, at the moment, there is this question, this country here and Gaza is in the middle of a war, whether there's really a window here for such negotiations.
DW correspondent Tanja Krämer there, reporting from Netivot in Israel. Thank you very much, Tanja.
Not just in Paris have people been demonstrating in support of Palestinians and indeed of Israel. All of these demonstrations are leading some European governments to worry about an increase in anti-Semitism. On Wednesday, authorities here in Berlin banned a pro-Palestinian demonstration following clashes earlier in the week. Protesters said they were acting on their right to free speech.
Here, in a small district in southern Berlin, pro-Palestinian demonstrators had planned to gather. Instead, police were everywhere. Berlin authorities banned the protest on the grounds they could potentially incite anti-Semitic hate and violence. An accusation rejected by the organisers.
Yeah, we wanted to demonstrate peacefully here in the heart of Berlin's Palestinian community to express our solidarity with the people of Gaza who are under an unprecedented bombardment right now. We wanted to reaffirm our continuing solidarity with Palestine in the face of the Israeli occupation that is at the root of this conflict.
Berlin has stepped up police presence over concerns the events in Israel and Gaza could fuel already existing tensions. On Saturday, police clashed with around 50 people who had gathered for a pro-Palestinian demonstration in the same neighborhood. Authorities accused demonstrators of chanting anti-Israel slogans. A few hours earlier, a group called Sami Doon had handed out pastries in the streets to celebrate what they called the victory of the resistance.
We have a very heated atmosphere right now. Germany and Berlin in particular have made it very clear that they recognize Israel's right to exist and do not question it. But we have people in our city who see things differently. Accordingly, the police have to prepare for such situations.
Despite the ban, some people still came out on Wednesday to show their solidarity and to highlight the plight of the Palestinians.
We all condone violence. We're all not, because we're pro-Palestine, with Hamas. It's not what we're saying. We want to have the freedom of speech and be able to send our solidarity to the people who cannot speak for themselves.
And why are the resources? How is it that Israel can turn off the access to resources for water, for electricity in Gaza? How is that possible? Because they already control it. Because it is an open-air prison. People, we need to be able to make sense of how that is wrong. Why are we being silenced while these kids live constantly day in, day out with bombings?
Many argue their right to free assembly is being infringed. But police say they don't want to risk violence spreading and are enforcing the law.
Well, the first evacuation flight of German nationals from Israel landed at Frankfurt Airport yesterday. Germany's been working with Lufthansa to organise repatriation flights for its citizens, 950 so far.
Reunited with family, back safe on German soil.
We are so happy, so relieved that everything worked out. The relief, the burden that fell away when we took off and the plane turned and we were over the sea. Lufthansa was so great. They were really thoughtful. The pilot said several times it was an honor to fly us. But unfortunately, there were also empty seats in our plane.
Hundreds are home, but thousands of Germans remain stranded in Israel, waiting for their chance to return.
The last few days were exhausting, especially when we were waking up to sirens. It was so stressful, but thank God we're home. That's great now, of course. I'm so happy. There are 12 people in our group, and we're all here, all healthy, thank God. Now let's go home.
While happy to be back, returnees couldn't help but think of those they left behind.
For me, it's a hard decision because I have friends who are there now or who are part of the conflict. One of my best friends hasn't written for 3 days and would be part of the ground offensive in Gaza if it happens. In the next few days, I'm going to be looking through the lists of the fallen and just hoping and praying that my friends are not there.
More special flights from Tel Aviv to Frankfurt and Munich are set to continue on Friday.